In this video, we're going to be taking a quick look at my customized ThunderCats Ultimates Tygra figure. Like a lot of you with the Wave 2 figures, I had a lot of QC issues with my Wave 2 ThunderCats figures. And for high-end collectibles such as these, kind of ridiculous. We had to go through that. With Mumra alone, I actually had to buy two, and neither one was perfect. I actually had to piece together one good one from two figures and got a refund on. I just put all the bad parts in one and got a refund on that one. It was ridiculous. With Tygra, where I got it from, they weren't offering replacements anymore. It's either refund or you keep it. I thought the main issues with the figure was just paint. And it's like, I'm a customizer, I can paint. So I figured I'll just repaint the figure. I want the colors to be closer to the cartoon and, well, the prototype solicitations of the figure. This is closer to the color scheme on that one. With the orange, I thought it was just oversaturated before. I didn't paint the alternate head yet, just so I can have an example of like the different colors they had before. They got the skin and the hands, like the around the face, and the hands and the feet. The wrong color. They painted them yellow. It should be flesh tone, not yellow. I don't know where they got that from. Also on the heads, look how terrible this mask is for the white. It's a straight line mask. It should be jagged and zigzag like the black stripes at the top to make it look more natural, but they went straight across. They put a mask on it and sprayed it. It's super thick, and they even painted the ears, which are supposed to be orange. So I went back and painted the ears orange on the other head. I'll eventually get around to repainting this one. On the head, the only thing I didn't repaint was the eyebrows and the eyes. They were really good shape on this one. I just painted up to the edges of the lines with the repaint. And they end up, after I sealed and everything, I put some gloss coat on the eyes. On this one, I'm going to have to repaint the irises and the pupils. You can see this eye is printed low. The iris is. It's actually down below the black line. So I'll end up having to do a full repaint this, so I'll just go ahead and strip everything off this one and start over. On the orange on the torso, it was like the paint hadn't cured properly. I could actually take my fingernail and scrape the orange off the chest. It was very odd. It's like, I don't know, if they used the wrong kind of paint or they didn't put a proper type of mix in the paint. It was just bad all around. So I end up stripping all the orange paint off the chest. I was like, when I'm going into it, I'm going to go all out. I want to do a full repaint. And to do the full repaint, I want to fix the shoulders. They didn't leave enough clearance in the shoulder sockets. So every time you move the arm, it was rubbing. And plus it limits the articulation. Before, it was basically about there. Now you can get it up high on both arms and full rotation without having to worry about paint rub. I shaved down the tops of the shoulders and increased the diameter of the shoulder sockets itself. To do that, I had to crack the torso. That's when I found a surprise. In the factory, they actually broke one of the tabs, like friction tabs inside that keeps tension on the ab crunch. They broke it and hot glued it back in place. I got a picture I'll put right here. I was a little in disbelief, like, really? These are premium price point figures, and they're doing that kind of shoddy work. That was crazy. And on the ab crunch, they had to paint so thick. When it was drying, it had actually started cracking on the front and backs. It was terrible. It took me a while to strip all that off of it. But now you can actually see the sculpt on the ab section and on the back much better than what it was. And also, too, I went ahead, since I'm going into it, they forgot to put the elbow pad on the other arm. So I ended up adding the elbow pads. I took a cutoff wheel, cut a groove around the bicep, and glued a styrene strip all around for the strap. Sculpted the elbow pad with A's Fix-It Sculpt. Now he looks like the prototype. Also too, on both of the biceps, I had these really ugly sprue marks. Pretty good sized sprue marks right here and right there. Let's see. I had two big ugly sprue marks on this bicep here and right over here too. So I sanded those down and smoothed them up to get rid of those, make it much cleaner, like a high-end collectible should be. Same way with clean up the sprue marks on the back of the heels. And everything looks good. I love how this turned out. It's just kind of shame I had to do this much work on this. I kind of wish this is how it came out of the box. For the colors on him, I actually used Testors Battlemaster acrylics for the blues. I used French blue, gloss green, and white. Various combinations of those to get all three different colors. And I was wanting to get on make the costume a little more saturated. It was very dull looking. Like they chose the wrong colors in the plastic catalog. Well, you can see I didn't do the knee joints. You can see how much lighter the leg is compared to what it was. I love working with Testors Battlemaster acrylics. It's just a shame it's like it is hard to find right now since Rust-Oleum bought Testors and discontinued Battlemaster acrylics. It's getting harder and harder to find. For the orange, I used Citadel Fire Dragon Bright. And for the flesh, I used the Citadel Kissful Flesh. But for the end result, I love how it turned out. I got something that looks closer to the original prototype solicitation. A lot better colors, in my opinion, closer to the way it should have been. It just stinks you got to do this much to a high-end collectible just to get it the way you want it. I've got Chitara on the way. I shipped my pile of loot from Big Bad Toy Store. I'll see how she is and getting closer to getting the team together. And we got Lino and I got Panthro somewhere. I don't know where he's at right now, but love how these look together. But anyway, thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time.